Without any further ado, Frederic, I will hand over to you and your panel. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Jennifer. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I'm very honored to be on stage today and present a very interesting topic, and a topic that will obviously be... So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our session leveraging technology in this post-COVID period. I think the fact that we're having some technical issues kind of brings a bit more pinch to this topic. I'm very happy to discuss this topic with you, because the hospitality is basically no stranger to health and safety issues, and technology has long been integrated to manage and operate multiple facets of hotel operations, from online bookings to high-speed Wi-Fi. Technical innovation will now, I think, become the driving force behind the changes that are needed to promote and ensure health and safety in a post-COVID world. Words like contactless, touchless technologies are being thrown around and are most likely the most important emerging techs in post-COVID hotel operations. In a practical sense, I think this will mean less front desk check-ins and more online check-ins, less physical interaction and more digital communication and engagement. Solutions for mobile orders, guest self-service, staff communications, contactless payments, and many more innovative technologies will help hotel operators adapt to the new reality of post-COVID requirements and expectations. And hotels and resorts are facing basically a new world of health distancing, contactless guest service, and new cleaning protocols across their properties. And as guest returns, they will be demanding to know what these hotels are doing to give them a healthy and safe experience. Today on my panel, I am very happy to invite three people on my panel that are very knowledgeable about the technology in implementation. I would like to call upon my guest, David Esseryk, who's the Managing Director of Hotel Digital Consulting. Also, Tony Leça, he's the CEO of Ethnic Tech, and Arnold Rouverand, Hotel Planning and Development Consultant at ANKASA, and also the founder of HForum. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Welcome.
Hi there, Frederic. How are you doing, man?
Very good. Very nice painting.
Thank you.
I think we're still waiting on David to join us. Yes. As we wait for David to join us on stage, maybe I can start with you, Tony.
Sure.
You know, what technologies, or identifying technologies that can adapt to post-COVID world, what technologies do you think can be identified?
Yeah, well, Frederic, first of all, thanks for having me, and to Bench Events as well. This has been a fantastic day today. Lots of rich and interesting discussions. So in terms of COVID and post-COVID hospitality, what we've really discovered is that many hotels are probably more ready for post-COVID hospitality than they think. There's a lot of technology that's already at many hotels that just simply isn't being used or hasn't been used. And I think COVID, the pandemic, and all the bad news that came with it has got potentially a silver lining as well, because it's been a catalyst or an agitator for those technologies to be used. So, for example, many properties have got electronic locks in their rooms with BLE technology, the Bluetooth low emission technology, allowing guests to open the lock with a cell phone. The keys can be sent to the guest, and that whole experience becomes contactless, obviously. A simple thing in a restaurant, such as putting a QR code on the table that the guest can scan and view the menu on their phone, again becomes a contactless way of sharing information, such as a menu or anything else, for example, to the guest. These are really simple, fairly inexpensive mechanisms that are already there or very easy to switch on. With regards to temperature scanning, thermal cameras, and there are now many on the market, can be added to the CCTV systems to discreetly measure body temperature of guests or even staff, at hotels. Very simple, sometimes expensive, sometimes not so expensive, but simple nevertheless, addition to an existing security and CCTV system, which could discreetly allow the hotel to deal with and manage with guests or staff that are above the healthy temperatures. And yes, many other technologies already in place. Many hotel brands, international brands already have an app, and that app allows the guest to do many things such as checking in, checking out, controlling the room, the blinds, the lights, the drapery. Those technologies are already there. It's not technologies of tomorrow. And I think we'll see a lot of hotels now switching that on and being motivated to now use that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a very good points and very nice technologies, inventions. That's, as you mentioned, not necessarily big in cash. It's just a question of adapting the existing setup that you already have in your hotel, and then just opting to upgrade the system to touchless or contactless services. David, thank you very much for joining us. Sorry about the technology hiccups. Great to have a fully constituted panel. Arnold, over to you, following up on what Tony just said, identifying technology, but, that's from a hotel keeper's point of view. What about the guest point of view? There will be obviously a shift and a focus of the consumption patterns from the guest. How do you see that happening with this technology shift?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, guys. From the guest perspective, I think that many things can be said, and there will be a shift and a change. We're thinking the trends and the patterns happening very soon. One of the pattern we see coming, first of all, which I think is to be noted, is that the people will try to prepare better the trip. They will look for a hotel closer to the airport. They will try to avoid to go through public transportation, avoid taxis if possible. I think the quality of the airport hotels, which was perceived a bit like accidental accommodation, where you will stay if you're obliged to, will now become potentially a true full-fledged and luxury, or at least very comfortable hotel, and not anymore for a day use if I am stuck. So it's not only for cruise, it's going to become a new concept, I think, of hotels for the airport hotels. So that's, I think, the main element that we'll be noting down. Obviously, as my friend Tony said, there will be artificial intelligence going to come in much strongly in the coming years, with a lot of elements, not only anymore for controlling lights or doing my check-in, but I think even a bit like the airplanes, where you will be expecting in advance to book your room and to assign your room, a bit like you assign your seat in an airplane. People would be knowing that I come every month, for instance, to Abidjan, and I want room 202 on the second floor, to make sure that I know this room is hygienic and I like it, I feel comfortable. So people will look for a home away from home more and more in the coming trends. After that, we can talk about other elements. I think the MICE business and the meeting rooms, conferences, are going to change as well, less formal, a bit more homey, a bit more funny as well, less serious as before, but serious more on the sanitary side, on the health, and people, the coffee breaks will have to be managed differently, much less buffets than before. People will be cautious with that and the vicinity of the various coffee breaks. So there will be a shift, I think, in the offer of the meeting and events. We'll be using more and more the outdoor areas. That's a trend that is coming more and more. The rooftops, big time. Terraces, people prefer to be outside in the open. Big change as well, which I assume is going to be impactful, would be the beverage and food. In my view, we were more on the food and beverage the last generation. Now it's becoming more beverage and food. People want to spend time in the outlets just to have a drink and have less snacks, or a few snacks, and not a meal like before. So they want to have a good time and see the hotel a place where I can have an outdoor lounge almost, and not necessarily a full meal in a restaurant. We've got to planning itself. I think some trends are going to be even stronger than before, like the vinyl, which is replacing the carpet, for instance, in terms of hygiene. I think it's one of becoming obvious now. We had to explain that a few years ago. Now everybody will agree that carpeting in a room will become a bit more difficult to sell to the clients. Simplification of all the systems, as Tony said. I think all the artifacts as well will be reduced. So many cushions and stuff we had before, people were cautious with the hygiene of that, will be definitely reduced to the maximum. Just less is more, as Hyatt International used to say a few years ago, right? So these are the main trends, I would say, Fred, that are going to happen. And I think an upcoming of the apart hotels as well, much more strongly. We see more combos than before, hotel with suites that are more apartment than suites, and apart hotels, branded apart hotels. You can see with Marriott, with Radisson, more and more residences or apart hotels.
Okay, that's very interesting insight. And obviously there's different technology aspects into that in each and different consumer pattern. I think, David, coming over to you, one thing that's really important is the experience that the traveler will have in post-COVID operations. What do you think that post-COVID travelers will expect in terms of technology innovations before they go to a hotel or whilst in a hotel?
I guess for years we're talking about digital transformation, and guest expectations are moving today. We were talking about guest expectation for years, and we can see different initiatives from different hotel groups. We can see like digital keys, free wireless, high PTVs, whatever we see today on the scene is. We don't see a lot of integration of today, but what I guess is most of our clients today expect a seamless journey. So that's the main difference between before COVID and now. Before COVID, I guess most of the guests can expect a few technology initiatives. We don't really care about if the key is seamless or not. Today it's like mandatory. It's no more discussion about if the hospitality industry need to do a digital transformation. It's like mandatory today. But doing a few initiatives and a lot of advertising about few initiatives like mobile key, like we talk about mobile key for years with Hilton, Marriott, Accor, whatever. Do we really see a full integration of this technology? Not yet. And I think this COVID-19 today, the way of the guests will expect the experience in the hotel. That's the main integration of all this technology will be for most of them. And I'm not really convinced that hotel chain will realize that they have to do. Initiative, I guess, is over. They all did initiative for the last 10 years, few initiatives, few pilots, few whatever, with a lot of advertising everywhere on the web. But a real concept, I will say, except maybe Citizenm, that is really technology oriented. The rest is like a good advertising for newspaper and digital web.
Frederic,
yes,
if I may comment a bit to what David was saying, the last few years, and Tony is witness with me on that, we were asking ourselves, do we still need to put a desk in a guest room? I mean, is the desk going to disappear? People don't want to spend time anymore in the room. Why do we need to have 24 square meter room for a 4-star hotel? Why can't we do this? I think this is now going back. I mean, people want to spend more time in the room. They want to have a proper desktop to work. They don't want to spend a full day in the public areas. Yes, they will go down, they will have a drink, they will go outdoor, preferably if there is. They will go less to the gym. Okay, with the gym, they'll be very cautious. They will verify twice before using the gym. And in the room is going to be a very serious change. I think the room ergonomics will have to be re-questioned again with technology and with proper use of the desk itself. And that's a major element that we were wrong. We were thinking that it was disappearing, and now we are questioning us. Okay, we have to go back and make sure the desk is there.
Yeah, no, I think that's.
But Arnold, if I may, sorry, Frederic, if I may, maybe this is true or this is wrong. Who knows? tomorrow, if we get a solution for the COVID-19, we will go back to the public area will be the mainstream of the hotel. No one knows today what will happen tomorrow. What I'm talking is what we see today is people are looking for more and more customer, and of hospitality is doing, bringing one solution on one. The hospitality industry is not really good about integration, and this is today, I guess, the main issue of the industry. And I guess the business model of the industry. When you get an hotel owned by one part, managed by another part, or franchised by a third part, how they can do a proper integration on IT solution today?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think you both have valid points. I myself, I believe that in-room technology will really have to be improved to create a little bit of a media hub for the guest, so that they can communicate, even if it's touchless, with the hotel, do a lot of reservation, do their bookings, do all of their things, either from their own handheld device where they can control whatever's in the room. Like you said, the digital keys to come in the room, but there's also from your device, you can also control, have a remote control for your TV. You can communicate through your device with the hotel reception, with the hotel F&B outlets. The whole room concept, it will be much more interactive setup than before. And a lot of technologies are already available. It's just a question of switching them on or, improving your existing setup. I think what's the basis of your hotel is your network. If you have a strong network, there's a lot of things that you can switch on, switch off, add on, add off to improve your operational services to your guests. Because let's face it, just like Arnold said, guests will want to spend a bit more time in their rooms. They will want to have less contact with the hotel staff, while still enjoying all the services that are on offer. I think integration will be a very important part moving forward. Yeah.
I agree with Arnold 100%. We're already seeing some groups, for example, building hotels with built-in gyms in the room. Other hotels with a little huddle room for video conferencing, etc. So I think there's great opportunities here that are coming with technology, and I think COVID again was an instigator to all of this. I think we're also going to be seeing cryptocurrencies as payment systems because they're contactless. We're going to be seeing blockchain. We're going to see passport verification being done via blockchain as opposed to taking a photocopy at the front desk. I'm very excited about the future. I think at last, hotels are going to run more efficiently and potentially be a lot more feasible as well as operations.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Tony. I can see Jennifer popped up, which can only mean that we need to wrap up. Gentlemen, thank you very much for being on my panel today. Obviously, we can continue this session and some more discussion at the IT Hospitality booth a little bit later, if you feel like it. Thank you very much for being on my panel, and I hope to interact with you very soon.
Thank you, Frederic. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much,
Thank you, guys.
Arnold, Tony, and David. Really appreciate it. And as Frederic said, if you want to pop over to his booth, I'm sure all the panelists will be very happy to answer any questions and